Hey guys, what's up? It's Firefang92 bringing you a quick little unboxing. Set 16 version E, Legion of Dragons and Blades. Fun set, very excited for a lot of stuff like brawlers. I love the brawler deck, hoping to pull some here, hoping to pull some deleters. If we get a Legion rare, that'll be cool. Hopefully, if I get a Legion rare, I'm hoping for core. And we got here a little ad set pamphlet. Like Schwartz Fairy Tale, that's cool. I love the manga. Probably gonna buy a couple of those. Set 17 version E, which is also gonna be cool. Like the metal Borgs, they're very cool. Razors are gonna be fun. Another box topper we got here, don't know if you can see that very well, it's Harmonix Messiah. Doesn't have the cool stride back, but it's a nice little thing. If you're playing at home with your friends, you can stride sometimes. Or G-assist is the part I'm more excited about because I get grade stuck a lot. Alright, just gonna break right into this side. This one has a folded side. That's annoying me, so we're gonna open it first. Dudley Monty, a Dudley, a 10k, not bad. Spear Line, used to be Quilt Spear. Spear Line Liberator Marius, it's a backup boss. You can counterblast one if the number of rear guards you have with different names is 5 or more, it gets 10k. I haven't seen anybody use it, but it's not that bad. It's kinda okay. Mako Shark Soldier of the Blue Storm Fleet. Blue Storm, so I run Blue Storms sometimes. Limit Break Enabler, so I'll probably play with that. Ooh, and I see right away we've got a card I wanted. Seeker Platana Rider, draw trigger, not much to say about that. And boom, we got ourselves a Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Buster. Oh, my favorite card in the universe. Legions with Slash Buster, which is double R that hopefully we'll see later as well. Act, Counterblast 1, choose a Big Bang Knuckle card, which is either him or Big Bang Knuckle Dragon. Put it in your soul. He gains 5,000, and continuous when it would choose a unit to attack, it chooses 4 of your opponent's units to attack. And that includes Vanguard, so you're probably attacking like 3 rear guards. I find it's usually the back row because you can pop with some other effects in the brawlers, so it's a pretty cool card. It's a pretty cool card. A lot of field control. Also, if you have Big Bang Knuckle Dragon in the soul, he gains 2k, so he activates his own cross-ride, which is awesome! Yeah. So, very cool card. For some of you that don't know, because I've seen this floating around a little bit, people talking about, does he still activate if your opponent has 3 or less on the field? The answer to that is that he does, because Bushy says that the choose 4 just subs out his normal attack targeting and isn't like a targeted effect or anything. And since you can't choose to attack nothing, it's a 10k for Seekers, not the usual one. That's the plus 5k when you're Vanguard Legion starter for Brawlers. I actually like to play that because of the cross-ride on Knuckle Buster. Let's see. Rousing Seeker Arm will Soul Blast 2 when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have Blaster Blade Seeker in your Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do this, that's plus 1,000 for each of your other rearguards with Seeker in the name. That's pretty cool. Obviously, Soul Blast 2, it goes up to 12. You can boost to 9k for a 21 row. War Drum Brawler Hoka. One of the new stand triggers. They're really trying to up their game with stand triggers so people will play them more. Retire this unit during your turn when your opponent's rearguard in the front row is put into the drop zone. You pay the cost. If you do, choose your opponent's rearguard in the same column as that rearguard and retire it. So it's pretty cool. I don't actually play it, but it's cool. Wild Fist Dragon, the 12k attacker for Brawlers. That's pretty cool. I'll may or may not use that depending on the cards I pull today. Because my usual lineup is just 4 of both of the Big Bang mates and like 4 tech spots that usually go to some other different cards that maybe we'll see. Sturdy Feet Brawler Token, 10k grade 1 for brawlers if your opponent doesn't have rear guards in the front row. That's another thing they... Jaillock Brawler Kotenka, the 10k grade 2 for brawlers. A lot of Narukami in this pack. Eradicator, Egg Helm, Draco Kid. Limit Break 4 remover for Eradicators. And yet another Narukami. Brawler Plasma Kick Dragon. I'm not complaining. And as a rare, we get Acquired Deleter Igor. Put it into your soul. When your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and choose a card from your damage zone, turn face up. Very helpful because the primary Deleter boss is very counterblast heavy. The Legion's a little bit counterblast heavy too, but yeah, if you're just playing the Legion, I might just say, well, maybe just stick with a grade 3 searcher or something. Brawler Staring Draco Kid. He's the 10k booster for Legion. That's cool. Dudley Moses, the generic Legion for Spike Brothers. Brawler Lightning Rod Dragon, the generic Legion for Brawlers. We got the mate a second ago, so I can show you that. It's pretty cool, right? Anyway. Polypod Deleter Oleron. Unfortunately, the deleters didn't get his cool stand trigger. The cool stand trigger for Link Joker is a Starvader. But it actually is a pretty cool stand trigger, so check that out on your own time. Brawler Skybeat Dragon. Another Brawler boss, so this is definitely going the way I wanted it to. Legions with Sky Howl, and when it Legions, you can choose a card in your opponent's front row, retire it for free. And when it attacks Vanguard, it gets plus 2k. So, very nice, very nice. Eventually, he's obviously going to be cut out of the deck, because hopefully the final lineup is just 4 Knuckle Buster for Dragon, Knuckle Dragon. But for the time being, I may use him a little bit. Compose Seeker Lucius, 8k starter for Seekers. Brawler Lightning Rider, attacks for 12k if your Vanguard's in Legion. I don't know if I like this sort of clone, just because there's so many different varieties of 12k attackers nowadays. That why would you use it when it's got that 8k body? That means if your opponent's playing a vanilla grade 1, they can drop it, and if you had to ride that, you're kind of dead. Taking like 2-3 damage turn 1, not good. Turn 2, sorry. 10k attacker for Seekers. If you have the number of Vanguard or rear guards in your front row with Seeker in the name is 3 or more. Okay, so Legion and a rear guard. Well, then again, I guess he'd be the rear guard. So basically, if your Vanguard's in Legion, he attacks for 10. Seeker Hallowed Breath Dragon. Some people say it's ugly. I think it just looks like a generic dragon. Crit trigger for Seekers, so that's kind of nice. Blue Storm General Giannis. This unit attacks Vanguard if it's the 3rd battle of the turn or more. Draw a card. Pretty nice, pretty nice. New version of Valeria for if you have your Vanguard attacking 4th, or if you did play the Valeria deck, then there's a 3rd card to play with it. Like Valeria and the thing from the trial deck, I forget what it's called. Whatever. We got Armed Brawler Kohiko. Useless clone there. It was in the trial deck. Naga Brawler Kadru. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard's in Legion, draw a card. So it's a free draw. I've been wanting to find a way to use that, but it's kinda hard. I don't think Grand Blue has one, and they're the only ones with the consistency to really set up the 8k rear guards. Armel, we talked about him a while ago. Brawler Heal Trigger, very nice. Threatening Brawler Komei was the card of the day yesterday. Yesterday? I think it was like last week, actually. Anyway, choose a card from your hand, discard it when this unit is placed in rearguard. The number of rearguards here in your opponent's front row is 1 or less. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. So he's a ditch and draw. Those got really helpful when Legions started being a thing, because you need to set up additional cards in your drop zone, and that's a way to do it for free. So that's cool. Chic Gull Liberator, cool name, useless effect, attacks for 9k at a Soul Blast. Penetrate Deleter Iggy, fun name. Also useful if your grade 3 lineup isn't too packed. When he hits, if your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, you can lock a card. In the front row, your opponent's front row, yeah, lock a front row card. So the idea is, like, the Vanguard would probably be attacking for, like, 5, and if you can lock both of the front row rear guards, then, well, you're not gonna see... You can drop no cards that turn, and the only thing that would hit you would be 2 triggers from the Vanguard. Violent Brawler Shuki, pretty cool card. The new version of Triple R from set 6, whose name eludes me right now. When he's placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard's in Legion, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rearguards, and they cannot intercept, so it can be helpful. Get that away! Brave Stride Seeker Sharon. Counterblast 1 when this unit's placed on rearguard. If your Vanguard is Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose another of your units until the end of turn. That unit gets plus 4k. That unit and this unit get 4k. It's cool. Helps you push. Can't think of anything that really benefits from the 4k right now, but this is my cat, Bo. Say hi, Bo. Bo's a little timid. 10k attacker for leaders. Lien, old school. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, get 5k. That's a new version of Clone they're introducing. Deleter draw trigger. Sing Saber Dragon. That's right, Internet, I said sing. He will always be Sing Saber to me. Anyway, Legion with Blaster Blade Seeker. When he attacks, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 3, choose 2 cards from your hand, discard them at the end of the battle. Yada yada yada. Find another Sing Saber from your deck, rewrite it as stand, and perform Legion with the Blaster Blade Seeker in the Soul. And he gets 2k when attacking Vanguard. So he is effectively restander, and he's very potent and very dangerous, and he was very meta in Japan. Not happy I pulled that, because Sam's trying to, the Brit is trying to build that deck, and I don't want him to. Let's see, Soul Blast 1, placed on rearguard, choose another of your units and gets 5k for Brawlers. I'm not playing that, mostly because, oh, and here's one for Seekers, because I'll probably just play Rising Phoenix and get the same amount of Soul Blast to set up the drop zone and better effect. Let's see, generic plus 2k on attack, grade 1. These are kind of interesting, helps with early rush. If you have the right deck, it's worth playing. Brawler draw trigger. Citation Liberator Heli. Counterblast 1, put him in the Soul. When this unit attacks hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 1 among them, and call it to an open rearguard and put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Helps you multi-attack. First, for a little bit, I couldn't get it out of my head that he was a Seeker, and I thought, ooh, use that with him. Set up more Soul. Well, alas, it was not to be. Because that combo would be pretty devastating, because you could set up the extra Soul to Sing Saber. And that's Sing Saber's biggest weakness. You have a lot of difficulty setting up the Soul. People might play, what's his name, Blaster Blade's dog thing, that the starter that's now banned. If he wasn't banned, they might play it just to get the Soul for Sing Sabering twice or 3 times. And and, you know, consistency. Merkle Liberator gets +10 when your Vanguard Legion's pretty cool, but I'm not sure I'd use it. Jumbo the Stun Gun. I actually did use this for a little while. During your battle phase, when this unit is placed in rear guard, Soul Charge 1, choose a card from your damage zone and put it face up. The new Spike Brothers are kinda CB heavy, so he can be helpful. She-Build on Legion Draw, Deleter Crit Trigger, and Frozen Ogle. Cool card, cool card. Counterblast 1, put this unit in the soul during the turn when you Vanguard Legioned. At the end of the battle with this unit attacked. Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for a card, call it to open rearguard, shuffle your deck. He can rush really, really hard, because you can just search out another copy of him and keep doing that and keep doing that. If you've got the Break Ride active, they'll all be 19k attacks. If you've got his Legion Air active, because he's actually a mate, it's 24k attacks if you broke road. So, yeah, very potent card. The +5k on Legion starter for Seekers. No, Liberators, sorry. The on-hit draw if your Vanguard's in Legion for Liberators. The 10k Legion booster for Spike Brothers. The cool stand trigger for Seekers. When he boosts a successful hit, when an attack hurts a Vanguard during the battle that he boosted, you can search your deck for a grade 1 or less and call it his rest. It's kind of nice for consistency, but there aren't a lot of times he's going to be able to boost a successful attack because he's 4k. Machine Gun Gloria. Love this card. Counterblast 1 at the end of the battle that it boosted a grade 1 or greater rear guard. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and put the boosted unit on the bottom of your deck. So obviously very helpful with Bracky. You get a 21k row and a free draw for 1 counterblast. So I guess it's not technically free, but shh. Don't check my logic on that one. Okay, we got Deleter that adds 2k when it's called, 12k attacker for Liberators, generic Legion for Brawlers, Brawler Crit Trigger, and the Brawler Quintet Wall. He's like a $1 to $2 card, but I will play him. I will play him because the quintets really help you set up for legioning. So I'll play at least 1, maybe 2. But if you pull him at home, you're not going to do well for value. Limit Break Enabler for Jewel Knights. Basically, Corrupt Malefic Dragon for Deleters. 10k attacker for Seekers. Draw Trigger for Brawlers. Guido! Put him into your soul if your Vanguard's in Legion. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 Liberator. Call it to open rearguard. Some people like him with Glare because he helps you start calling for free. I don't like him with Glare. I think Glare needs a power starter like Trumpeter or what's his face, the dog. Maybe we'll see him later. Dog. But yeah, Guido's not bad in some decks. If you want to play him, he can be useful. 10k Interceptor for Brawlers. 12k attacker for Seekers. Choose a card from your hand, discard when your other units placed in breaker. Okay, so drop and draw when you Spirit Call a Liberator. So yeah, that can be very helpful for a Legion Liberator deck. Override Deleter Oig, crit trigger for Deleters. Coil. Biggest rarity drop in the game right here. Used to be triple R in Japan, now he's single R. What he does is counterblast 2, choose card with the same unit. It's the same name as the unit on Vanguard. From your hand, discard it. This unit is Legion. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 2 among them. Call them separate open rearguards. And they get 5k. And when he attacks Vanguard, he gets 2k. So it is actually a really good card. It's just people don't like it. 10k booster for Oxus, the Deleter boss. Blue Storm Tempest Border. At the end of the battle that he boosted, if your vanguard is Legion, choose 2 of your rearguards and exchange their position. He's very nice because the other alternative for that, Wheel Assault, I believe, requires a counterblast, so he helps you save counterblast if you're playing a Legion deck. 10k booster for spikes, draw trigger for deleters, and a perfect guard for blue storms. It's nice, I play blue storms, so I'll probably use that. Yeah, perfect guard, standard fare. She is purdy, though. Purdy. Alright, digging into the second side of the box. Hopefully gonna see some more deleters. Haven't seen many of them yet. Hopefully gonna see more brawlers, because I love me some brawlers. Generic Legion for Spike Brothers, 8k starter for Seekers, 12k Legion Attacker for Narukami, crit trigger for Brawlers, and the sub-boss for Blue Storms. Legions with Giannis, who is over here, so you can see that. Counterblast 1 when this unit drive checks reveals the same card as a unit on your vanguard. If it's in Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 2 for rear guards and stand them, and those units get plus 5k. And then the Counterblast 1 for 2k effect, which is kind of standard sub-ability for some bosses. It's kind of going out of style because it's not very efficient. Anyway, he's a pretty good boss. I actually like him more than the Blue Storm Triple R boss, because the Triple R boss is really generic. He at least deserved a double R, but space was too tight, so he's always been a single R. 10k for deleters, 13k attacker for brawlers, specific 10k booster for Big Bang Knuckle Dragon, which is pretty cool. Liberator crit, and another Giannis. See, that's a 12k Legion Attacker for Spike Brothers, grade 3 Searcher for Link Joker / Deleters, because Link Joker already had one. Deleter 13. When he hits, you can give another unit 3k. Boring. Crit trigger for deleters. Bloody Ogle. Very cool. Definitely the prime boss for Spike Brothers right now. During the turn he legions, whenever anything attacks, it gets +5 and then gets put on the bottom of the deck. And you can counterblast 2 and choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul and call a thing from your deck. Very cool, especially if you break ride him and use this effect to call out his mate. You can have like 6 or 7 attacks all north of 20k. So all hitting for at least 2 cards to guard. So if you think about it, if they can't take some damage, that would be 14 cards from your opponent's hand. Twin Axe Liberator Basia. When he's called to rearguard, if your vanguard's in Legion, if he's called from your deck, give 2 things 5k, so that's kind of nice. 8k starter for brawlers. I do not like him. He clashes with the boss too much. The cool starter for Blue Storms. Put him into your soul, choose one of your vanguards. This turn it gets counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a vanguard. If this unit's in Legion and it's the 4th battle of the turn or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. Very cool. I'm very salty that it's Legion restricted. Secret crit, and a 12k attacker for deleters. That's nice. I'm going to be using that in my eventual deleter deck because there aren't that many options for deleters. 11k attacker for deleters. I will not be playing that. 12k attacker for brawlers. 13k grade 3 Liberator attacker. Draw trigger for deleters. And Eugen. Eugen is cool. When your Vanguard Legions choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it. I usually play him, and the benefit of that is primarily for Knuckle Buster, so that when he legions, you can take out something in the front row and then just attack back row rear guards. And that way you'll pretty much have wiped your opponent's field for like 1 counterblast in the card. Deleter 8k, only subclan that got an 8k grade 1, so that's cool. Starter for Spike Brothers, when it boosts a grade 1 or greater rear guard, if your Vanguard's in Legion, the boosted unit gets plus 5k. Really only very helpful with like grade 3s, because that's 10k boost, so, I mean, there are probably some 11k attackers that some people like to play for Spike Brothers that I'm forgetting, but I don't like to play them. Anyway, the Counterblast one for basically garbage. Brawler garbage. Brawler draw trigger. And File, who is helpful, especially for Sing Saver, because he goes into the soul, and Sing Saver needs more soul. Put him into the soul when your Vanguard Legions. You may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for Blaster Blade Seeker, call it to rear guard. So it's nice. Basically trade a booster for an attacker. Which isn't that bad, and like I said, fuels the soul for Sing Saber. Liberator Limit Break Enabler. I love this card. I used it to get in. I would have gotten in a turn 3 win my last locals with Duke, but she miracle healed, so. Brawler Sky Draco Kid. The vanilla grade 0, 6k. It's so funny that we got this in the set, because the Brawler trial deck was folded into the set. Rest, give a unit 2k, deleter. Stand trigger for Brawlers without an effect, and a Seeker Quintet Ball. Pretty nice, but I play Roy. But I play Jewel Knight, so get out of here! You gotta make yourself laugh sometimes. Yeah, not much to talk about with Quintet Balls. Like I said, they help you speed to Legion. So I think everyone should play at least like 1 or 2 of them. 9k on Legion starter for Seekers. When it hits unflip for deleters. Very cool, definitely use it. Soul Blast 1 for a 13k attack for Seekers. Draw triggered for Spike Brothers, and she is all the kawaii that the heal trigger is not. Liberator Lawful Trumpeter, when your Vanguard Legions look it up to 3 cards for a Liberator and call it to rearguard. Free plussing, always nice. Definitely very helpful in like core Glare deck, especially in Glare where you really need to get your calls set up somehow, because he's very counterblast heavy. Grade 1 version of Heli, 10k attacker for Brawlers. Legion 10k booster for Blue Storms. Catch Call Liberator, very helpful in a Glare deck. Put him at the bottom of your deck when a unit is placed. When it is placed on rearguard, you can pay the cost if you do search for up to search 3 cards for another Liberator other than a Catch Call Liberator and call it to rearguard. A big variant of the Glare deck just involved trying to combo him into Zorons so that you could get this loop of calls to just boost his power up and up and up and up, and your opponent can't perfect guard. Brawler fighting Draco Kid. A little underwhelming considering the bosses, but put it into the soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and that unit gets Counterblast 1 during your turn when your opponent's rearguard in the front row is put into the drop zone. And your Vanguard is Legion. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the same column and retire it. So the idea was that that was supposed to be helpful for Knuckle Dragon, but that's 4 counterblasts, so no one should pay that. I mean, if you're paranoid about your opponent having some, like, really important boosters, sure, you can play him and just try to counterblast one, but I wouldn't. 10k attacker for Liberators. Lorelou, when he checks a grade 3, you can retire a grade 3 to delete your opponent's Vanguard. Cheapest deleting in the game right now, but very inconsistent and has the 10k body, so he's just common. The drop 1, draw 1 for Liberators, heal trigger for Deleters. Silver Blaze, Soul Blast 1, when he attacks, if your Vanguard's in Legion, he gets 10k and then returns to the deck at the end of the battle. Anyway, like I said, with like a Break Ride Ogle, that would be 34. With a boost, that's 41. So, definitely good for just closing out the game. Plus 2k thing for Deleters, 12k attacker for Liberators, limit break enabler for Jewel Knights, crit trigger for Brawlers, Luck Bird for Deleters. Cool. Gets you a little bit more card advantage, and if you're playing the Legion, that's 2 cards in the drop zone. By the way, I haven't gotten the Legion made. I would really like to get one. I still need, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 1 more double R and 1 more triple R in 4 packs, so not looking likely, but okay. Deleter 12k/20k thing, 10k for Dudley's, backup boss for Liberators. Ugh! Brawler Big Bang / Dragon, very cool. When your Vanguard's, or with Brawler in its name, attack hits, he gets plus 3k, so with like Knuckle Buster, that can be plus 9 or 12, with his mate, it can be plus 6 or 9. So yeah, very helpful in the deck. Not quite as helpful as something else that I wish I'd gotten, / Buster, but helpful nonetheless. Brawler Old Hand Dragon, Heaven Bow Seeker Mervy, Chewing Deleter Burrow, Taunting Deleter Gotho, and Daunting Deleter Oxus. This guy is the man. Counterblast 3 Deleters and choose one of your rear guards and put it into the soul. Delete all your opponent's Vanguards and he gets plus 10k. And if your opponent wants to ride over the deleted unit, he has to drop a card. For those of you that don't know what delete's like, a lot of people like to go, well, it's like locking. It's nothing like locking. It is nothing like locking at all. You turn it face down, it loses all its effect, and its power goes to 0. But they can still ride over it, they can still attack with it, it still has a name, etc., etc. Tempest Border, Lunate, Potentio, Green Gem Carbuncle, Menopurus. When he hits, counterblast 1, put him in this. No, just when he hits counterblast, when he hits a Vanguard, I think. Yeah, when he hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1, check the top 5 for a grade 3. Helpful if you're a little bit paranoid about not seeing the grade 3s, because Royal Paladins don't actually have a starter that searches grade 3s in English yet. Anyway, I should be done with major rarities, but if I got an SP or a Legion rare, that would be cool. So, let's hope. Tokon, Kotenka, Staring Draco Kid, Platana Rider, and Aesipolis, who was a double R in Japanese. He legions with Fallon, counterblast 2 Liberators if he's in Legion, and the number of other Vanguard rearguards you have is 4 or more. He gets 5k and a crit. So, kind of nice, helps you push. If there's another unit in the middle column, he gets plus 3, so that is also kind of helpful. Alright, just going to go back over the double Rs and triple Rs real quick. For double Rs, today we pulled Brawler Big Bang / Dragon, Seeker Plume Wall Angel, Bloody Ogle. Dudley Ogle would be cool, because there is some Dudley support that I'd like to play. Blue Storm Princess Electra, Hardship Brawler Tosho, and Brawler Skybeat Dragon. For our triple R's, we got Brawler Big Bang Knucklebuster Dragon, Seeker Thing Saver Dragon, and Daunting Deleter Oxus. I am definitely happy with this box. Definitely turned out pretty well. I'll fan through the single R's real quick so you can just take a look at them. Anyway, that was my little box opening. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with all your boxes. It's Firefang92, signing